Good morning or afternoon or day or whatever it might be for you folks. This is the segment number one of Mr. Berman and his, I guess, pre-algebra videos. This is the first lesson of the year, 1-2, order of operations. I would strongly advise that you take the time to use your highlighter and write down and highlight your information here with your vocabulary words, like variables and algebraic expressions. So a variable is any symbol. It's usually a letter, and it's used to represent a number. So that's like an X, or maybe a T, or maybe it's an F. Whatever it might be. It's a letter that represents a number, and it could represent any number that we have. Algebraic expressions are expressions that contain variables. So it's going to be, say, a number and a variable, and have an operation in there as well. So like 2 times n, or 3 plus y. So those are going to be things that are variables for us. I'm sorry, algebraic expressions. They contain, not only do they contain variables, but they also contain regular numbers and operations. So those things are necessary for us to have success in an algebraic expression. I need to erase that so it actually looks okay. All right. And then evaluate. The word evaluate, that is going to help us to find a value. So that's the big thing. It's going to find a value of an algebraic expression. And that's how we need to understand that you're simplifying, or you might be solving the math problem. Simplifying or solving, maybe it's an expression. Okay. Now we all know PEMDAS is the parentheses, it's the exponents, it's multiplying, it's dividing, and then we have our adding and subtracting. All those things are such beautiful things that we have for our Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS. And more importantly, we got to understand here, folks, is that these things happen in a specific order. This is obviously your first thing, and then your second thing. Now your multiplying and dividing happen from left to right. So whatever you see first in the problem, if it's down to just multiplying and dividing, you use whichever one is first, left to right. And so that's going to happen for your third option. And then the same thing down here with adding and subtracting. This is your last option, or the fourth thing that you look for. And they work from left to right as well. So you will see them in the problem left to right. You'll work with addition first or subtraction first, depending on whatever one comes furthest left. So here's some examples of actual problems that you might see in your assignment. So you're going to plug the R of 6 in for the R, and then the S is 3 in for the S. That's the first step here. So we have 4 parentheses 6 minus 3 parentheses squared. We do the parentheses first, so it becomes 6 minus 3, which is 3 in parentheses, and I just bring everything else down, and it's 4 times 3 squared. 3 squared is the next one, or 3 to the second power. That becomes 4 times 9, and 4 times 9 is 36. I put a box around it, that way I know it's my official answer. Remember that when you have a math problem butted up against parentheses, that's your clue to multiply. On to example 2. So again, we're just going to substitute in the numbers. 2 times 3 plus 2 squared. First is the 3 plus 2, which is 5. I'm just going to bring everything else down. Next is to do the exponents. 2 times 25. And then we get the answer of 50. Same thing moving on to number 3. Again, we're using just the order of operations. So Q, which is a 5 to the second power, minus 4 times the 6 minus 1. Now I'm going to do this in one step here, folks. I'm going to take care of my exponents and my multiplication at one time because I can. So this turns into 25 minus 24 minus 1. 25 minus 24 is 1, minus 1, which is 0. So 0 is my official answer. Now I'm going to talk a little bit quicker with number 4 as well. 3 times s. S is 4, so it says 3 times 4. Q is a 2, so say 2 plus 4, so that becomes a 12 over 6. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay. Now the properties that we have for our math are the commutative, the associative, the distributive, and the identity property. The commutative property says that you can add in any order, and it does not change the value. You can also multiply in any order. So if we put this same stuff down with a multiplication sign, it's also true. The associative property is that you can group any series of addition or multiplication problems in any which way you want to group them by putting the parentheses around them, and they will also still equal the same answer. So that works for, again, multiplication and addition. Now the distributive property is having this number on the outside that's being multiplied by 2 things on the inside. That means that I'm going to be able to do a times b, which makes an ab, and a times a c, which makes an ac. So if I have 2 numbers that are being added together, but also they're multiplied to the exact same number, I can just multiply the number to both of them. Now the identity property says that whether I add 0 or multiply by 1, the value still stays the same. And that's all it is, folks. This is how you do lesson 1-2, is the order of operations and some properties. Good luck to you. We'll see you tomorrow.